Chevy El Camino, the Maverick of muscle and utility. Imagine the late 1950s, folks, when Elvis Presley ruled the airwaves, and every American dreamed in technicolor. Enter the Chevy El Camino in 1959, a car that didn't just blur the lines between practicality and performance, but set them on fire and danced around the ashes. This wasn't just a vehicle. It was an automotive genre, all of its own, a glorious chimera of musclecar audacity wedded to the rugged utilitarianism of a pickup. The El Camino was Chevrolet's daring gambit in response to the Ford Ranchero, but this was no mere competitor. It was a veritable mic drop from the engineers in Detroit. Its name, El Camino, rumbles off the tongue like the title of a spaghetti western, fitting for a car that looked like it belonged chasing bandits across the vast American landscape. The inaugural model boasted either a 6-cylinder engine or the more potent 283 cubic inch V8, a throbbing heart eager to turn gasoline into pure, unbridled joy. With its muscular profile and unmistakable fins, the first El Camino blended car-like comfort with truck-like capability. You could haul hay bales in the morning and drag race your neighbors in the afternoon, all without switching rides. The real magic happened under the hood and in its sheer versatility. The El Camino underwent various transformations, but it found its swaggering, muscle-bound identity in the late 60s and early 70s. This is when the beast was truly unleashed. Models like the SS 396 and the jaw-dropping SF 454 turned up the heat. Here was a machine with a 6.5-liter or even a 7.4-liter V8 stuffed between the fenders, dishing out power figures that made lesser cars weep into their carburetors. The El Camino wasn't just about power, it was a design statement. The aggressive stance, the quad headlights, and that distinctive sweeping bed all screamed rebel with a cause. The designers had gifted it the aesthetics of a muscle car while retaining the utility of a pickup truck, a duality that was both charming and outrageous. Inside the cabin, you were greeted with a blend of simplicity and style. Bucket seats, a dashboard designed for quick glances, and enough space to make long drives feel like a cruise. It wasn't a luxury suite, but it had everything you needed to feel like a road-going cowboy ready to wrestle wild horses, or at least a particularly mischievous grocery run. Driving the El Camino was like harnessing the power of a wild stallion. Sure, it had the handling precision of a greased pig on a frozen pond, but you weren't buying this vehicle to navigate alpine switchbacks. You bought it to dominate the straightaways, to feel the surge of raw power as the monstrous V8 roared to life and hurled you down the road with reckless abandon. Fuel economy? Pfft. Who cared? This was a car-truck hybrid for people who had oil in their veins and a disdain for sensible footwear. It wasn't just a vehicle, it was a lifestyle choice. A declaration that you, my friend, scoffed at the conventions of what a vehicle should be. Despite its eventual retirement in 1987, the El Camino remains a timeless icon. It starred in movies, flaunted itself in car shows, and even turned up in rock songs. It represents a bygone era when engineers were allowed to have a bit of fun, and when cars had a bit more soul. So here's to the Chevy El Camino, the Maverick of muscle and utility. It wasn't just a patchwork of ideas, it was the embodiment of American ingenuity and boldness, a testament to what can happen when you think outside the lines and dare to be different. It wasn't perfect, but it was perfectly memorable, a glorious, roaring, unapologetic legend on 4 wheels. If you're thrilled by tales of automotive mavericks and iconic machines, hit that like button. Subscribe to Atoicons and join us as we dive into the legends of the road like the Chevy El Camino. Buckle up, hit subscribe, and let's blaze a trail through car history together.